Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. You know how we do. Before we get started, go ahead and do your boy a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn your post notification bell on so you'll know when your boy is going live for dropping this heat. But let's talk Coach Prime. Let's talk where we are right now in the Coach Prime regime. Coach Prime, since he's been in coaching, since he started at Jackson, Prime has changed the game. Prime has changed the way, what's that hair? People look. I don't like the hair. Prime has changed the way people look at the game. Prime has changed the way people recruit. Prime has changed the way people see teams. People get their information from teams. A lot of teams are going to try and follow Coach Prime's lead. But let's start at Jackson. When Coach Prime was able to do what no other coach in college could do. Get the number one player, the number one recruit to go to a HBCU, which was, excuse me, Travis Hunter. Changed the way HBCUs are looked at. Set Jackson State up to be successful when he left. No other coach has had college game day at an HBCU except for Coach Prime. ESPN has not touched foot on a historically black college campus since Coach Prime left Jackson State. I say that to say this. In this new age of coaching, Coach Prime has set the precedent. Coach Prime has given the blueprint for others to follow. And just when you think you're there, Coach Prime will change it and go in another direction. Coach Prime hasn't followed the norms since he's been in coaching. He hasn't recruited the traditional way. He hasn't coached the traditional way. He hasn't hired staff in the traditional way. Everything he's done in his own life. And yet here recently, Coach Prime was left off of the Big 12 Coach of the Year nominations. And he was left off of the NCAA Coach of the Year nominations. Yet alone, he has done something significant in college football besides just win football games. See, Coach Prime's impact reaches further than just coaching football. Coach Prime has set college football up in a way to where half of the coaches like what he do. Some of the coaches follow what he do, but a lot of the coaches can't stand that he's in college football. Coach Prime has done a lot of things since moving to Colorado. He has turned that program around. He's made that program more relevant than most of the blue bloods in college football. Coach Prime's visibility and Colorado's visibility in college football or in the sports imprint is so big, it's so massive. Most of the time, It's irritating to a lot of people. At this point, I think people are just sick and tired of Colorado because every time they turn around, it's Coach Prime this, it's Travis Hunter that, it's Shadura this, it's Warren Sapp that, it's Coach D-Lou this, Coach Dancy that. It's something to do with the Colorado football program. And they are constantly in the news cycle. ESPN has at least one segment on Colorado every day. On 3 has at least one segment on Colorado every day. Everybody that writes has at least one story on Colorado at least once a week. So everybody's news feed is Colorado, Colorado, Colorado. And that's why people were chomping at the bit about Travis Hunter, saying he won the Heisman because he was popular, not because he did his job, not because he did the one thing that no other coach in college football would let him do but Coach Prime. Because he was popular. Because during this Heisman Trophy run, all they heard was Colorado, Travis Hunter, Shadura Sanders, my bad. Can Colorado make the playoffs? Can Colorado get to the Big 12 championship? Why did Colorado lose the game? It didn't matter what happened. They had to talk about Colorado. And then you go to Deion Sanders Jr. He's revolutionized the way people see college football teams with well-off media. Uncle Neely with the pregame show. Darius Sanders with Reach the People Media. Colorado is always in your face. And people do not like that. See, that's what gives them that thing to say that Coach Prime is arrogant. Coach Prime is brash. Coach Prime has a circus in Colorado. It's not that any of that is true. It's just that he's doing something different. He's doing something new. And people are mostly afraid of change. See, when you're doing something nobody's ever done, Travis Hunter, when you're doing something people aren't used to, Coach Prime, when you're doing something new that people have never seen before, Deion Sanders Jr., and it's effective and it works, people hate change. See, the old guard wants recruiting to be the same, where you go get 13, 30 freshmen, bring them in your class, train them up, and 4 years later, there you go. It don't work like that. And Prime was 2 years ahead of everybody, saying, look, that's not the way you recruit. He told you, I did it at Jackson. I'm going to do it here because it's going to work the same. TC Taylor has continued that tradition at Jackson, and that's why they will be ahead of the curve for the next 2 or 3 years. Everybody else will have to catch up. See, the Blue Bloods had a head start on Coach Prime. See, they had all the talent stacked at Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State. Those types of programs were stacking talent. Texas, Oklahoma, just hoarding it. But the transfer portal. But for the transfer portal has changed all of that. See, Prime came in and did something what nobody's never done. He said, all of you, 1 and 11 crew, you of the 1 and 11 ilk that has no wins, that has no fight, that has no giddy up, you got to go. And the world lost their mind. Oh my God. You should never kick kids out of the program. Meanwhile, coaches been kicking kids out of programs for years. But it's that one guy who didn't hide it, who put it on Front Street, who said, told you this is what I am going to do. Hear me and hear me really loudly. I'm telling you, all of you have to go. I'm bringing my crew with me. And coaches was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. The media was like, oh, Deion, he just doing stuff. He don't know what he doing. He can't coach. But meanwhile, Belichick brand new. And Belichick ain't never coached a college football game in his life. College football is not the NFL, but he is the second coming. Let these people tell it. He'll be able to tell him he coached Tom Brady. He'll be able to do this and do that. Belichick gonna be lost when it comes to college football. But meanwhile, the man that played the game on both sides of the ball, that coached the game in high school, that coached the game at an HBCU, he don't know what he doing. See, a lot of people are just now starting to come around and just now starting to realize what Coach Prime is doing is special. It's real. It works. And my God, we need to do what that guy's doing. But what they want to do it without saying we're doing it because that's what he did and it worked. That's why they tried to first give it to Signetti, because he did the same thing. But they didn't want to say he was doing what Prime did. They wanted to say this is Signetti's thing. This is new. No, dum-dum. He doing what Coach Prime did. That man got on national TV and said Colorado is doing what Coach Signetti is doing at Indiana. Until I screamed it from the mountaintop and said, ESPN, you are a bald-faced lie. But not one ESPN analyst, commentator, anybody wanted to correct that, because that's what they wanted to change. Either way it goes, you got to give Prime his props. You said he couldn't coach. He has the Heisman Trophy winner. It's a lot of coaches been coaching for a lot of years, don't have a Heisman Trophy winner. Coach Prime jumped the line and got ahead of them. And if you think Travis Hunter is the only one, you're wrong. In 2 years, there shall be another. Just mark my words. Just know you got it from me. Number 17, who you will see partially next year playing both ways. But his junior year, you will see the monster playing both ways. Prime might go 3 years in a row with 3 straight Heisman Trophy winners, is what I'm telling you right now. Y'all calling me crazy. Say I don't know what I'm talking about. But I told you Colorado was good. I told you Arizona State was going to be in the Big 12 championship. Should have been Arizona State and Colorado. I told you Penn State was going to play in the Big 10 championship. I told you pick between Alabama and Georgia to win the SEC. I told you Oklahoma State was going to suck this year. I told you Ohio State is, I ain't gonna even say, they just suck. Oregon will not win the national championship despite that 13-0 record. Oregon really hasn't played nobody. They played Ohio State, and the second toughest game they played was in the Big 10 championship, which is Penn State, and they should have lost that game. Oregon has gotten lucky. But the day is coming, and it's coming soon. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. I just wanted to drop a few nuggets on y'all, let y'all understand who Prime is, where he is, and where we going with it. Y'all need to give that man his respect. He showed has earned it. Dan Lennon ain't got no Heisman Trophy winner. Steve Sarkisian don't have no Heisman Trophy winner. Old Kirby don't have a Heisman Trophy winner. That guy in Ohio State don't have no Heisman Trophy winner. It's a lot of coaches been coaching a long time. But in 3 years of Travis Hunter, Coach Prime has produced a Heisman Trophy winner. So I say that to say football is in trouble. Prime is here for a while. Remember what Nick Saban did? Here we go again, but this time it's one of mine, and I'm gonna love every minute of it. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. Y'all be easy. Y'all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's run it up. We're trying to get to 20K before the end of the year. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all be easy. We out. Peace.